Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Elon Musk's father, Earl Musk, says that the United States days are numbered. He says when white people becomes the minority, the country will return to the jungle. Yeah, and for that, he was dragged like the uncivilized mutt he is. I ain't got no problem with that. Wow, what an uncivilized mutt. Further proof that the apple don't fall far from the tree. The uncivilized mutt sat down for an interview with CNN for an upcoming special, Misinformation, White Genocide, and senior correspondent Donnie O'Sullivan asked him about figures projecting white people will be the minority U.S. population within the next 20 years. Earl's shocking reply: that will be a very, very bad thing to happen. You want to see the U.S. go down? Why? You don't like electric cars? And you don't like technology? What is it? You want to go back to the jungle? Elon's pappy lives in South Africa, and Donnie notes that the country is a talking point in the U.S. right now, following Donald Trump, your president, claimed that white South African farmers are being abused and killed. Donnie, as any human being would be, was shocked by the answer, and Earl doubled down and brings up his own nation as an example. He says the country's small white population that projects the European culture fed and grew the black African population. Elon's dad says that there was no oppression in South Africa, calling the notion nonsense. Earl says he never saw any oppression, and Donnie tells him that's because you're white. The U.S. is boycotting the upcoming G20 summit in South Africa as Trump repeats his claims of so-called white genocide. Boy, the apple don't fall far from the tree. What an uncivilized mutt. This is the same mutt that impregnated his own stepdaughter with 2 children. Yeah, fam. Elon's sisters and brothers, I don't know if he had a boy and a girl, or 2 boys or 2 girls or whatever, but Elon's siblings are the product of a pedophile. Yeah. So why would you give somebody like that a platform? Well, he's the father of Elon Musk and, the richest man in the world. So, you want to know his thoughts. You want to go straight to the source. Like, who raised him? How did he get to be the way he is? Why did he think the way he thinks? And this gives you some indication. The fact that Elon Musk has so many baby mamas, so many babies all over the place. He has often been called a great man. That might be true in regards of success, accomplishments, and things like that, business accomplishments, career accomplishments. But as a human being, he is a complete failure. And this is why he's so angry. Oftentimes, people who are standoffish, people who didn't do well in high school, didn't play well with others, didn't really have any healthy friendships growing up, especially guys who wasn't good at getting the girls. Now that they got some money, they can get the girls by just waving the money. Oftentimes, these are some of the worst people in the world because they don't know how to let bygones be bygones. They don't know how to just process that, hey man, everybody loves a star. As Michael Jackson said, everybody loves a star when he's on top, but nobody ever comes around when he starts to drop. And that's just the way humans are made. When things started going south for me in my music career, I always knew that I was going to bounce back. But I saw a clear difference in the way people treated me when I was on top as opposed to when I had fell off, right? I saw a clear difference. And I knew that there would be a clear difference once I bounced back on how they responded to me, and how they viewed me. But I didn't take it personal. That's just the way people are, man. These type of people, you feed them with a long spoon. It's as simple as that. You don't have to hate everybody. You don't have to, because you had limited action at the girls in high school, you don't have to try to get back at every woman, man, you take it as it comes, if somebody is slick enough to get past the vetting point of, the friendship vetting, if they're slick enough to do that, slick enough to get past the relationship, romantic relationship vetting, then they'll eventually reveal themselves. So all you got to do is give it time. Ain't no use to just walking around being paranoid and acting uncivilized because you know that you're living in an uncivilized society. You could tell that Elon Musk has been hurt. You could tell. You could tell that Trump has been hurt. I don't know what his people did to him, but they did something to him. And, even his closest friends have talked about that evil streak in him and how heartless, and short of empathy he is. Elon Musk, that is a different level of evilness, though. He damn near makes Elon look like a saint. No, he don't. Why did I tell that lie? I take that back. Elon's pappy said white South Africans fed and grew the African population. So, how would there even be an African population if the Africans had to wait until the white folks got there to feed them? Everybody would have starved to death. What were they eating before the white South Africans got there? Were they eating air? Maybe they were eating air balls or something, That is very interesting how you can go and rape, murder, pillage a nation, a continent, stick the flag in the ground, and now the people who were there living peacefully are the savages, and somehow you're the savior. You're the good guy. It is interesting how they make that work. The propaganda machine stays on. Interesting. I'll end the way I started. The apple don't fall far from the tree. No more talk.